Chilcotin, big bar, high elevation pine sites, yes.
Yeah. I get the real uncertainty around the climate change is what happens with the precipitation. But if the climate warms, you could get an increase in, you could have a lot longer day length, a longer season length. But if you had a decrease in precipitation, then, that might well be negated. So you might be basically where you are now, just in terms of the climate response. But then, as you say, we don't know how the pests are going to respond to that. So,
as an example, the droughts we had in 2002 and 2003, the hardest hit areas were actually the low elevation sites, not the higher elevation sites.
Yeah, because in general there's more precipitation at high elevation.
Well, in those high elevation sites, guys, they're almost like, you'd think it's almost like temperature limited for the most part. But what I was going to say, Guy, was there's so much information out there, and I totally agree with you. You're being blasted with all this data and these different models, and there has to be someone to kind of bring all that together, because you can read one paper and it says that whole area of the Chilcotin, like Big Bar, is going to dry right out. And this is published science, and then other ones will say something else, and there's just not a lot of consistency there. So what do you take seriously? I guess that's the question.
Right, and that's why, if you can see in Pillar 1, I mean, we're trying to develop evidentiary basis and expert opinion and trends, and again, trying to create a framework where people can not so much play, but they can take risks without